Bring me in. Bring
And
me
we
in.
back for another episode of Say What You Feel. We was on a small intermission. We was gonna talk. This is part two. We talked about pretty much the spiritual side of the marriage side, and pretty much my brother Dave was showing me a video earlier about a gentleman. He was with his lady, and he was having the best of their life. They was living life. They was kissing, loving. This is before they got married, and everything was going perfect. Everything was fine. Love. Even though they was having sex before they got married, sinning. But as soon as he got married, it seemed like the devil jumped on his back. Meaning, like everything was great until he got married. Because the devil don't like when he see happiness and see it godly. He see you trying to enjoy peace and do it the godly way. They started beefing and started arguing, and everything started going down the drain. Because like I said, devil is watching. He's behind you. You probably behind me right now. Just that's what they do. The devil prey on your downfall. He was whispering in your friends ear, your enemies ear, and they don't even know he's whispering. But the devil's always around when you're trying to do right. So, these gentlemen, they can jump into it and tell them how they feel on the spiritual side. What you showed me, what you told me about it.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's just like that, where you're doing everything that you're supposed to do. You're serving God. It's very important to stay grounded and stay rooted and focused on it. The devil's always going to be busy. He's going to try to interfere with your marriage, and understanding those pieces that he will do everything he can to tear away from the happiness and everything that you're sitting there and you're doing that brings joy to God. And it's very important to stay grounded, stay rooted in what you set forth, and stay loyal to each other. And I think that's one of the hardest things. Is when we were listening to the clip, it was clear as the speaker was actually talking around the relationship that him and his wife, and one of his friends came up to him and said, "I had a dream about you and your wife, and I understood that I saw you standing there and someone tapped you on the shoulder and said something to you, and then I saw someone talking to your wife and tapped her on the shoulder and was talking. Then I saw both of you start to argue, and this person or this thing left out the door, and they explained that this thing was the evil. It was Satan. It was satanic. It was the evil spirit. It was the devil sitting there trying to destroy that marriage." And I think that's very important as we look at marriage and understand marriage to the context. It's spiritual warfare. It is spiritual warfare. Once two become one and you do everything in the covenant that God expects us to form between man and woman, that understanding that clearly that the devil's going to try to tear that down. And I think that's very important as we talk around this subject, is understanding that unity piece, and understanding that both, y'all have to be able to pull it all in and stay strong and stay focused and stay really up to the biblical side of it.
Well, let me say something real quick. You know what? When I was saying that clip, it kind of touched me because it was making me think about reminiscing about before I was married. Like damn, everything is all gravy. We happy and ain't no problems. When you ain't married and you living in sin, it's like, we good. Drinking party, the devil sitting in the corner like, oh, do you? You know what I mean? Sip up, drink up, party up. The devil's always happy when you're doing wrong. So you're not gonna have any issues when you're, doing wrong. But it's like when you try to do right, that's when the devil jump in. He jumps in and like, what you doing? What we doing? You ain't doing what you was doing. The devil don't like when you're trying to do right in your life. So it just made me reminisce about, the gentleman was talking about when he was living in sin, there was no issues. Then when he got married, it was like the devil, like, what you doing? You happy now? You trying to live with God? God, where you having that? We need y'all beefing. We need you not happy. We need everything wrong with what's going right. So that was all that.
And like any marriage that that you take upon is taken in holy matrimony. And that should be in the forefront of any relationship. You know, regardless of what religion you choose, I think you need God in your life. Because sometimes, you know, all of us fall short in certain situations. And you know, and yeah, it's ought to be, you know, when I say, I mean, the devil's always busy. You know what I'm saying? He don't like happiness. So, you know, if as a married couple, I think, you know, I think it's more spiritual and it's more healthy to have God in your life, regardless of which way you choose, Allah, Jehovah, Jesus Christ, or whoever you pray to, man. You know, you need this in your life, and it makes the household holy. You know, and it keeps the household calm. You know, like, I mean, like back in, well, you know, anybody that knows, I mean, that I've seen, you know, anytime you buy a house as a married couple, you get somebody coming in and bless the house. You know, and that's the first thing you do. I mean, as black people, just some of the things I've seen done. You know, and the reason for blessing the house is to keep the evilness out of it. So I think, you know, with all the stuff going on, when I say stuff going on, I mean just in your relationships, like you were saying, as far as the you know, as far as the scripture, not the scripture, but the situation, as far as the guy, you know, it was beautiful. It was beautiful in the beginning, you know, but then, you know, as things come on, it was just, I mean, it's not only the devil, it's God testing you. You know, it's not always a devil thing, you know what I'm saying? God testing your heart and seeing where you at, you know, and seeing if y'all really supposed to be together, you know, because I mean, you got the devil in one ear, you got God in the other. I mean, the devil is one of God's children. And I'm not saying on no demonic thing, but he was one of God's children. So what I'm saying is that, you know, you gotta take in consideration of that. You know, and you just gotta, when things ain't right in your relationship, man, pray on it. Pray together. Sometimes you gotta pray separately, but pray together and then come together. So that's what it's all about.
I come up with the conclusion that the devil is to do three things: kill, steal, and destroy.
Yes, indeed.
And those are the three things that I came up with. And I noticed that in households, like you said, when you start praying more together, you start going to church together, that's when the devil gets really busy. He gets real busy once y'all are equally yoked. He said, I'm going to do something to break this family apart. And another thing I noticed is that when it comes down to, make sure I'm using the right word, when two families come together, a blended family. A lot of people don't believe in blended family. I'm one that believe in blended families because I have a blended family. At the end of the day, they don't call each other, oh, this is my half brother or my stepsister, stepbrother. They call each other brothers and sisters all day long. And as far as last names, no, they don't carry the last name. But at the end of the day, they got each other's back. And I think that's what's missing as well, as far as, you know, us being equally yoked.
You know, I agree. You know, the devil is a lie all day. He's probably, you know, like I said, he's on one shoulder and the good one on the right shoulder. The devil was like, go ahead, get it in. And the good one like, be good. But the devil's always around. I mean, like I said, he works more than the Jamaican. He works 24/7. You know, so
How many jobs you got?
he got endless jobs. You know, I could be at work, he could be in other work. So devil do not stop working. So you just gotta be mindful. Like, you think Jamaicans work hard, the devil work even harder. It's just, I mean, you just gotta be mindful.
Several jobs.
Several jobs.
And just to add on to that, I think you used a four-letter word that is very important. Work. Marriage is about that work. You gotta put that work in. You don't just sign on for something and think, oh, it's gonna be bed of roses and everything else. It's about that work. It's about serving an awesome God. It's about putting in the work and doing what you're supposed to do. And that's the most important part about it. It's not, oh, okay, we ain't cruise control. No, it's always, you gotta put in. You have to put on every single day. And that's the most important part of it. It's just continue to do that. And you serve God together. It's very important.
So we close out, we'll let y'all know, marriage is a second job. It's an everyday job. It's an all-day job.
It's a full-time
It's a
job.
full-time job. It's like non-stop job. So understand it. It's not nothing bad about it. Just it's a job. You just gotta understand that. You know, it's just, you gotta get on the spiritual side of it. You also just gotta be mindful. It's a job. You know, just like any job. For your marriage to get better, you gotta work at it. You know, and communication and stuff like that is like number one. You know, you want it better, you gotta make it better.
And marriage don't disrespect one another.
And before we break, I just want to say this. It was like when I was first married, a friend of mine told me, he said, marriage is an unconditional commitment to an imperfect person. And if anytime you have a disagreement or misunderstanding, revamp that into your conversation. Unconditional commitment to an imperfect person. None of us are correct. None of us are perfect. You know what I'm saying? And then all of us are not. We have conditions with us. You know what I'm saying? It's unconditional. You know, because you know life is what it is. You know, and all of us are gonna fall short. You know, nobody's perfect, and then nobody's you know, and you know we go through things. So just remember that, man. You know, and work through it. It's a job, and it never ends. This is one of the most jobs you'll never end because you can't retire from marriage.
You know.
As he said, work. It requires work, but it's worth it. That's all I got.
So there you go, man. After all day working, all day marriage, take a double shot.
Toast to that.
It's toast to that. You know, we want to thank everybody for joining us and saying what you feel. You know, we'll catch you again. Like I said, love, peace, and blessings, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.